Hey, what's up, everybody? You know what? Having a look at my own lifts today, and thought I could explain kind of what was going through my head, what I was trying to work on, and where I think I could have improved. Looking back at these sets of clean and jerks. So this is 4 videos in a row that I've stitched together, and just going through like where I should have picked up on my issues and where I could have improved my ability to auto regulate. So I tell that a lot to my own athletes. Like the more experience you get, just really improves your ability to auto regulate your own technique. So if you're filming yourself or you're watching yourself a lot, and you see things feel weird, things feel off, right? And you come into training and just things feel weird. If you can do a couple sets filming it, and you can see like, okay, like I'm supposed to be getting my knees out of the way or whatever, like you can kind of fix your own technique before it kind of goes to shit, and before you kind of have a bad session where you're lifting kind of in a habitual way you don't want to, right? Even though you know what we're supposed to be doing, sometimes we just can't get our body to, follow what we want. So this kind of happened to me today, going for like kind of like a really heavy 1 rep single for clean and jerk. And starting here, this is 185. I don't know in kg off heart. Well, 185 pounds, really lightweight, super, just chilling, just warming up. I don't have a belt on. Right? I like to lift. I like to start without a belt, kind of feel the nice positions I like, and then I'll throw a belt on, kind of about 200 pounds or so more. I'll start throwing it on just to start getting used to it. And pulling through. Here I'm starting, and things are feeling weird, like already. Like it's not bad. It's super light, so it's not really bad. But you can see here, I'm pulling. I'm kind of like winging around. Like as I start the pull, you can start it at full. Like I'm kind of like you see, I kind of have this. I have this space coming around my knees. Like I'm pulling the barbell in front of my knee. Like whoa. And you can see when you watch the whole lift, I'm kind of like going like pulling the bar around my knees, getting all this space, and then coming back in. Like I have all this space, and then I'm swinging it off the bar. And the issue today as well was that I was getting in love with speed. I was trying to move the bar fast, and I wasn't paying attention to some of the cues that I've been working on. Mainly was trying to get a nice, more vertical pull with the elbows. I was just trying to get a nice extension. You see my elbows are very stiff. My arms are very stiff where I'm not, they're not bending up towards the sky enough. I'm just pulling back too much, just trying to really loop that bar into my front rack. And because of that, I'm getting some bar crash. Like here, you can see the space between my chest and the bar. Even though it's light, I'm not really feeling it much, but it will become a much bigger problem in the next few sets. And I'm also jumping forward quite a bit. Like I said, not egregiously, but with lightweight like this, right? I shouldn't be really having to get pulled forward too much. I should be able to control this and bring it straight up. But because I'm not really pulling well, and I'm really just extending and then like pulling my elbows back to like just like hinge loop them around the chest like so, I'm not getting that. I'm not respecting that bar path that needs to happen, right? And I said I didn't really see it. I was in a rush. I wanted to just get it over with. Like I wasn't feeling great energy wise, so it caused me to rush. So coming into the next lift, so I'm pulling. I said this is just the clean here because I do a couple reps. And then this is 245, right? And here you're gonna see all the issues I just pointed out just completely come into full fruition and causing me to have a little mental panic attack, right? So I come up, this is 245, about 80% ish, right? So this should be very doable, always has been. Very generally I consider very lightweight for me. But you can see here I'm pulling. I'm not getting into a great position. I'm not feeling the greatest. And the issue was here that you'll see when I start this pull. We'll go full speed. I'm doing that again. You see it, right? You see this little like wiggle around the knee. Look at my elbows as well. Whoop. Whoop. See that? that fucking little wiggle. Excuse my language. Right? And you see, look at this jump forward. Right? Like this is way too forward for what I'm normally doing. Like this is ridiculous. Boom, like that's awful. That's a goddamn broad jump, boys and girls. And I'm getting under, and I'm recovering, and look at this. Oh, the step forward, you bitch. These are my videos, so I'm gonna swear a little more. I don't do this with my athletes. Forward, oh, terrible. Right, I'm coming forward, right, and this has thrown me for a mental loop. I'm like, God darn it. Gosh darn it. Like, it's not good. I am getting thrown around by 245. Things are not going well. I'm planning on going much heavier than this. Right? And I'm like, this is feeling like shit. You know, bad mentality. And then jerk. Jerk's not awful, but it's not great either. Like my elbows, again, you can't really tell by the angle, but I wasn't getting a nice, like, hard lockout that I like. I was kind of getting a little, like, again, just things were feeling off. I'm landing a little flat-footed. And this lift is really throwing me for a bit of a loop. So we can see here I'm winging around. I didn't fix those problems. I didn't auto-regulate. I kept just increasing weight. I'm just hoping I would kind of figure it out. And we can see here I'm not allowing my hips to rise enough. Is an issue. My knees are poking away. Like, see how far? You can see how far through they are right now. I'm trying to just be upright, but at the expense of being back too much. I'm not allowing my hips to be a little higher and rising them up just a tad on the pole, just so I'm kind of sliding them up the knees and getting them out of the way, but I'm not. So I'm kind of like subconsciously like winging that, pulling that bar around the knee. So now I'm in this very like uncomfortable kind of awkward position. Kind of on the tips of my toes here. You can see I'm kind of like on the toes coming in, just trying to get back behind it. And again, this position here is nice. Like, I get it into a decent extension position, but then see, I'm still not, I didn't fix the problem before. I'm not pulling up with vertical elbows, trying to keep it tight. I'm just getting a big, strong, stiff-armed extension, and then like fucking reverse curling it. Just trying to like flip it around. So big jump forward, right? Because it has to, right? It's pinging. I'm not letting my arms come up the chest. I'm keeping them very back and stiff. And then it's causing me the bar to come forward. Big drop. I'm on my tippy toes really here. Like I'm kind of landing on the heels and really shifting forward on the toes, causing me to be very forward. And then that step back, oh my goodness, having to reset, burn energy, feel terrible. So what I did eventually able to do was I was able to kind of sort it out a little bit. I saw at least that like I needed to get my knees out of the way more. And you can, it's a slightly different angle, but this is 285. This is about 90% or so. And on this pull here, my hips are rising a little bit more. Where I see how like I'm not really winging the bar around too much, perhaps slightly still, but not nearly to the state that I was. Knees are out, my hips are rising a little bit more, just again to help those knees get out of the way. And then there's still a lot of space, and I just don't ever fix this hinging problem. You can see here, right? Like I have a lot of space. The bar is far away from my midline. Right, so it's feeling heavier than it should be. I'm in like a bent arm kind of like pulling position. I'm just, again, looking for a big hip extension and just trying to like pull myself under it. And then you see this bar crash. This bar crash was crushing me all day. Recover pretty good though. Like this is one of my better 285 recoveries. Considering the bar crash, I was able to ride that. And then his jerks were not feeling great. I was getting a little pushed forward. Wasn't getting those nice solid lockouts that I usually like. Usually jerks pretty strong for me, but I was getting these soft, these wiggly, wow. I don't know what the problem is. And I would say recoveries are okay and cool. And then finally, this is a 305-pound clean and jerk attempt. Again, I've hit 305 pounds like quite a few times now and pretty well in the past. So again, the 285, despite my problems, like I was standing up pretty good. But I will say this kind of buried me and kind of sealed the deal for like my opinion on the session today. Again, I just, it was heavy and I was not confident in my pulling because I've been feeling like garbage. So what do? I reverted to the old tried and true method, is just try to tighten up and just pull the fucking thing. Right? So I got a big kind of a bouncy start. Something I haven't really been doing lately was that bouncy start. But I'm pulling the knees up a little bit again, and just there's a lot of separation here, making it feel very heavy. Like this position is feeling heavy. I'm just trying to get my knees through hard and as fast as much as I can. Big extension. And I think, yeah, just I wasn't able to pull that barbell up and control it in a way that I've been able to do recently. I just said things were not feeling great. Wasn't able to auto-regulate in the way I wanted to. Rushing, all of these factors, low energy. And it just got this here was kind of crushing me. I was really feeling even this bit of space. I was feeling it in the catch. And you can see it's just a pull. So try to still utilizing the energy buildup, keep it bouncing up. Again, it's coming out not terrible, but I just wasn't able to keep my upper torso upright as much as I wanted to. You can see how I'm just slowing down in this position. I'm just trying to push my hips forward to get under it. And then once I kind of just able to slightly get the hips forward, boom, I kind of just get under it a little better. If I could have just been a little more upright and caught it a little tighter here, I wouldn't have gotten so buried with it. You see that little bit of bar crash, it just crashes me down. My elbows are dropping. My upper torso is just rounding a little bit. I'm recovering and really trying to bounce out. My butt's like far away from my upper torso, right? There's this big shift. Once I get my hips through and kind of keep everything tighter to my midline, I am able to stand it up much stronger. And I recovered, but I'll be honest, this recovery was pretty shit. My left arm was like not in a nice grip, and I was just trying to really catch my breath after that struggle of a stand-up. And again, I guess I really just tried to come down and just fire up that hole as hard as I could. Again, you can see my timing's not great. There's a little bit, nah, it's not terrible. It's a little bit of kind of like coming down a little hard. And then just a yucky, bleh, not able to get under it. Not confident in the catch at all because of how my grip was. I didn't really get a good recovery. And then so I just did it and it was garbage. Tried it one more time, got buried by it again and didn't even stand it up. And that was the clean and jerk session. But yeah, just saying, if I had was able to have way back here, reverse time, if I was able to see this and just realize I need to get my knees out of the way a bit more, maybe have my hips just a little higher, like things that I know, things that I'm aware of, things that I've been doing, and I can just make sure I'm really pulling it. I'm really being able to slide it up the shin properly so that where it's closer to my thigh. I'm not getting all this space, like a little of that space here, like that's unacceptable for me. And I see I'm pulling back. My elbows are like back. There's no pulling up the chest. It's just a pull and like a loop-de hinge around. If I had just did another set or two, just really hammered that out, it probably would have made a much better clean and jerk sessional. But again, rushing, not taking the due diligence to really make sure I was moving in the way I needed to. Again, always you live and you learn. And there's always things to work on, no matter how long you do this. You're always going to have those days where things feel like garbage and they suck and you're making mistakes that you haven't made for weeks and months and you feel like, did you ever know how to do it in the first place? And then, but I'm telling you, like, just shake it off, come back, look at it. That's why I always say film stuff. That way you can look at it. You don't have to just bask in this feeling of terrible. You can learn from it. You can say, okay, like, I know what I'm doing. I just need to make sure I get into the right movement patterns before I start loading weight. So, yeah, thanks for listening. Hope it was informative, and maybe I'll do another one.